If you've ever wondered what it's like to record a Netflix comedy special while feeling like the government might be watching, episode number 621 of This Past Weekends with Theo Vaughn provides a vivid case study. In this episode, Theo Vaughn, mullet ambassador and Southern philosopher, sits down with comedian Andrew Santino to unpack the now infamous Beacon Theater taping, a night that began as a career milestone and ended somewhere between The Truman Show and the pharmaceutical commercial for anxiety medication. Santino, freshly triumphant from his own Hulu special White Noise, plays both therapist and comedian as Theo recounts the chaotic sequence of events that led to him possibly having to retape his Netflix special.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, dude. What's going on? I don't have to tour anymore.
You're done.
So
For how long?
we might have to retape my special, but
You want to talk about it on the show?
yeah.
I'm curious as fuck.
Are you?
Big time.
Yeah, I'm totally okay talking about it.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, well, so yeah, what do you want to know?
So like, you know, all I saw was what I saw on the internet of the taping, and then I texted you and I was like, how are you? Are you good? What's going on?
Yeah.
Because the internet likes to drum up nonsense.
Yeah.
And you texted me some love back, and I just want to know how it went or what was the deal, like what was going on, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, when we left out of there that night, we thought like it went pretty good. Like,
You felt good after it.
yeah, I was like, I don't know if we got it because there was definitely some hang-ups. It was like, I mean, there was a lot of stress like going into it, you know? And I don't know if I want to go super down that road, but like I switched off my medicine because I wanted to have a little bit more emotional, like a storyline. I wanted to be able to like kind of connect a little bit more in some moments. And I was having trouble having any feelings because of antidepressants.
Yeah.
It was just hard. It's like you try to get a feeling and it kind of stalls out. It like gets stuck in the mud, you know? So that was kind of one thing. And then like the government put out this DHS video that made me really scared.
The immigration video?
Yeah.
Talk about pulling that out of context. They're so good at that. They just took something that had nothing to do with something else, you making a joke, and then they're like, he's our spokesperson. You're like, what? I didn't sign up for that.
Bro, and so I just got so much like hate stuff. I mean, a lot of it I didn't see, but I would just see enough where it was like, fuck, this is scary. And that Charlie Kirk thing had happened I think a couple weeks before. And so I started just getting real paranoid.
By the time Theo hit the stage at New York's Beacon Theater, he was essentially a human anxiety burrito. His mouth went Sahara dry the second he stepped into the spotlight, but he hesitated to grab his water bottle, fearing that the audience would sense weakness, because nothing kills a joke faster than visibly needing hydration. He also found himself mentally directing the show mid-performance, worrying about stool placement and camera angles instead of punchlines. There were 5 extra people on set using radios to talk to each other, which he said made it feel like a prank.
Yeah, so that was happening. And then there was just kind of too many cooks in the kitchen on this set. And then during it, yeah, I was just like, I think my, like I just had too much. It was just, it was all kind of too much to, I think, get the show off as best as I could. And so that's all I left there thinking. Like, I couldn't remember where the next joke kind of went.
Yeah, sure, because it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think people don't know that. I think I've said that 100 times is like, I always quote Dan Soder. Soder always goes like when someone says, oh, I like Theo more this way than the special or whatever, or that, but it's because like with this, you're getting it straight from the tap. He's like, you're getting it right. You're drinking out of the hose. Like you're a kid. Like this is drinking out of the hose in podcast world and internet world.
And live stand up.
Yeah. When you do a taped special, there's so many more elements that go into it that people have no idea.
Bro, that's the worst when you get in your head about, because after the first one, you're like, now what do I change? Anytime you get to like you're standing at the finish line kind of, and you're like, what do I adjust? But you've been around the whole track with all these jokes. Oh, dude.
It's hard. You know what? Sometimes it feels like, especially when a joke you think was really good. You know how some NFL players get in trouble because they drop the ball before they cross the goal line? I feel like I was doing that a little bit because I wasn't committing to the joke because I was unsure of the way that a tag came in or the punchline snapped. And then so I started to doubt myself. But that's so natural because TV cameras are up. So your brain does a thing that it doesn't do live. Live, you fly so free, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That's me, dropping the ball before I get in the end zone. But I did it on like 2 or 3 jokes. And then the last taping, Zach kind of reinstilled some confidence in me and was like, dude, just cut it out.
A fan video of Theo post-show began circulating, showing him making a grim joke about wanting to take his own life, a moment he doesn't fully remember and chalks up to exhaustion, paranoia, and perhaps a touch of existential Southern flair. Andrew Santino, who has his own war stories from filming White Noise, offered reassurance that special tapings are never as good as comics hope.
And I remember getting through that and being like, God, that was hell.
It's hard, but I wanted to know you were good when I hit you because I wanted to know that everything was okay. And you know, people have their own opinions on the internet over what went down, which is like that video that circulated of you talking to the fans after the show.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I don't even really remember it, you know?
Yeah, because you're running hot at the end of a show. You're not really paying attention to anything.
I think somebody had kept kind of bothering me a little bit. I don't want to say bother because people came to the show, but someone was being aggressive, kept asking me for something like, will you do this? Can you do this thing? Can you make me a video? And I feel like I was like, look, lady, I'm just trying to take my own life, okay? It's been a tough couple of months or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only place I can imagine that I would kind of say something like that. Or if I would just kind of said it flippantly or something. But I was trying to think of like what retort. Because it's not like I was like, hey guys, I'm just trying not to take my own life. It's been a tough couple of months. It's not like I was making a speech like that to somebody. But yeah, we left out of there and we thought like, oh shit, everything's good.
Yeah.
I think we got it. Let's wait and see in the edit. We went out to some country bar. We had a great time. Glenny Balls was there. My buddy Aaron was there. And then we wake up in the morning and there was just like a ton of shit online.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just can't even deal with all this. It made me learn a lot about online. And I didn't even look at it. Like I didn't even look at any of that stuff. And I haven't looked at any of the articles. One of them popped up when I was scrolling. It was like Theo bombs Netflix or something, which wasn't even true. It was just like, and there were moments during the show. It was like, look, guys, I'm just having a tough time. You know, like I remember I went out there on stage and my mouth immediately got extremely dry. And I was like, oh man, something is wrong.
Anxiety. You're excited and nervous about doing something so important to you.
That hadn't happened this whole time. Like, you know, and I was like, well, I can't go to my stool and get water right now. I just walked on stage. Like they're clapping. I can't fucking take a break already.
The two agreed that comedy specials are basically doomed from inception, a format designed to strip spontaneity from an art form that thrives on it. Cameras alter the crowd, the performer's brain chemistry, and even the rhythm of jokes. It's like trying to bottle laughter in a laboratory. Technically possible, but it's going to smell weird. Theo likened the comedy special to a photo album, a record of where you were in life when you told those jokes. Neil Brennan apparently told him before the show that it might be the last time he ever performs that material, so he should just enjoy it. Unfortunately, that advice collided head-on with the realities of stage paranoia, microphone logistics, and national security level anxiety.
It was just like, there was just a lot going on, dude. And I was just like, I think I was just spreading myself too thin. I don't know. It's just a lot of shit. And I just don't know if I landed it as well as I would have liked to. But we had to restart a couple times. There was like a thing where I was like directing in my head because I wasn't, getting like certain information. I was like, well, if the stool was here in the first one, does it need to be there in the second one?
Right.
And where do I put it when I move it? Just little things like that. And then they had like 5 extra people there that didn't need to be there. It was like they would radio and it would just go to the person right next to him. And it was like, we're living in a fucking... I almost thought it was somebody was playing a prank on me. And then I just gotten a security guy. So there's this fucking guy who was just fucking, I mean, you could put a piece of coal in his hand in the morning and you'd have a fucking
diamond when it comes out.
Oh, you'd have a fucking piece of coal that looked like it had a grill on it.
In the end, this episode wasn't just about one bad night. It was about the fragile mental ecosystem that fuels comedy itself. Both men peeled back the glossy veneer of stand-up and showed the messy human machinery underneath. Insecurity, overthinking, chemical imbalance, and an unrelenting need to connect. If anything, Theo's Beacon Theater meltdown proves that even the most successful comics are one stool placement away from madness. And in a way, that's comforting. Because if a man can bomb at the Beacon, panic about government surveillance, and still sit down to laugh about it a few weeks later, maybe that's the real special after all.